The morning exploded with a scream that tore through the Georgia dawn like a blade. On the porch of a small suburban home, a boy, barely 13, convulsed under the crack of a taser, his body jerking as if the world had betrayed him. His mother's wail was a force of nature, raw and shattering, pulling every neighbor's gaze. Across the street, from a beige house that hadn't stirred in years, a shadow emerged. He moved with lethal calm, gloved hands flexing, eyes locked on the two men in fake uniforms looming over the boy. In seconds, they were on the ground, disarmed, groaning, their authority crushed. He turned to the mother, his voice low and final. "Get him inside." This wasn't just a moment, it was the spark that set Willow Creek ablaze, a story that would echo far beyond its sleepy cul-de-sac. But to understand it, we need to step back to the golden calm before the world turned cruel. Willow Creek, a quiet patch of suburban Georgia, glowed under a September sun that seemed to promise nothing could go wrong. The air carried the scent of coffee and sizzling bacon, mingling with the soft chirp of birds. On the Carter family's porch, 13-year-old Eli swayed on a swing, his bare feet brushing the wooden deck. Eyes closed, he hummed the Animaniacs theme, each note perfect, his fingers fluttering in a rhythm that kept his world steady. Eli had autism, and while words often escaped him, his joy was loud in its own way, pure, unguarded, a light the world couldn't dim. Inside, Eli's mother, Sarah, flipped pancakes, her hum blending with the sizzle. It was her husband Tom's birthday, and Eli had spent weeks crafting a gift, a quirky remix of cartoon jingles and lo-fi beats, his love woven into every sound. Jake, Eli's 18-year-old brother, home from college, set up a small speaker on the patio. The plan was simple: play Eli's remix, eat pancakes, celebrate Dad. At 10:03 a.m., I hit play. The music was soft, no louder than a neighbor's lawnmower. A few passers-by even nodded, smiling at the odd but catchy tune. Then it came. A black SUV, no plates, windows tinted to oddly VY on, rolled to a stop in front of our house. It didn't belong in Willow Creek, where every car was a familiar sedan or truck. Two men stepped out broad, in dark green polos stamped HOA enforcement, caps low, no badges. One gripped a taser like a weapon. The other had a radio, but no clipboard, no papers. Their presence was a violation, a crack in the morning's peace. Sarah stepped onto the porch, dish towel in hand, her face tight. "Can I help you?" "Your violating HOA noise ordinances," the taller one barked, his voice too sharp for a Sunday. "We've had complaints." "From who?" Sarah shot back. "Show me your ID." No answer. The shorter man's eyes slid to Eli, who was rocking faster, his hums quickening under their stares. Strangers, uniforms, too close, his safe world was unraveling. "Ma'am, your son needs to stop that noise," the man said, pointing at Eli like he was a problem. "He's humming," Sarah said, voice firm. "On our property." I stepped closer, my pulse spiking. These weren't HOA guys. HOA guys didn't carry tasers like they were itching to use them. The taller one raised his weapon. "This is your warning." And then he fired. The taser's snap was a whip crack. Eli collapsed, his body seizing as 50,000 volts ripped through him. His hums turned to gasps, cartoon lyrics stuttering between spasms. Sarah's scream shattered the air. I dropped the speaker and ran, falling beside Eli, my hands useless as foam gathered at his mouth. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I roared. He resisted. The taser wielder said, flat, like it was rehearsed, "We're trained to de-escalate." De-escalate? Elias Eli twitched, eyes rolling back. Sarah cradled his face, whispering, "Stay with me, baby. Breathe." Then movement. Across the street, the beige house, the one nobody talked about, stirred. It belonged to Mr. Harlan, a recluse wrapped in rumors. Ex-cop, maybe a vet, maybe just broken. His curtains never moved, his groceries arrived by drone. But now his door opened. Out stepped a man tall, lean, maybe 70, but MOVYing like time hadn't touched him. Gray cargo pants, black tactical sweater, gloves that weren't for yard work. His eyes were unreadable, locked on the men over Eli. He crossed the street in silence, each step deliberate, like he'd been waiting for this. The taser wielder turned, "Sir, this is—" He didn't finish. Harlan seized his wrist, twisted it with surgical precision, and slammed him into the SUV. The taser skittered away. The second man reached for a concealed gun, illegal, OBVYS. Harlan was on him in a heartbeat, DRIVYing a knee into his gut. The man crumpled, gasping. Silence fell, broken only by the swing's creak. Harlan stood over them, breathing steady, posture rigid, like he was deciding their fate. Then he turned to Sarah. "Get him inside. Now." Sarah, dazed, scooped Eli up and carried him inside, her steps unsteady but fierce. I followed, my mind reeling a Harlan's blur of violence and calm. When I glanced back, he'd zip-tied both men's wrists with military-grade cord from his pocket. He disarmed the gun, placing it on the SUV's hood, every move practiced. "Who are you?" I asked, voice shaky. His eyes met mine, carrying a weight I couldn't name. "Harlan," he said. "You okay, kid?" Eli. He'll be okay." Away from windows. A command, soft but final. Sirens wailed, blue and red lights flickering through the pines. Sheriff Conway's cruiser rolled in, followed by 2 squad cars. Deputies spilled out, guns drawn, then froze. 2 men zip-tied, a taser in pieces, a gun disassembled. Harlan, standing like a sentinel. "Mr. Harlan." Conway, grizzled and wary, approached. His eyes widened, recognition flickering. "Thought you were a ghost story." Harlan showed an eye-doled, leather-bound, with a silver emblem and U.S. Intel Deep Ops, reactivated only. Conway studied it, jaw tight, then handed it back. "They tossed a disabled kid," Harlan said. "Not HOA. Contractors. You got a problem." "We've tracked similar incidents," Conway said. "Never caught him till now." "They weren't stopping," Harlan said, jaw twitching. "We'll handle it," Conway replied, but his tone held deference. Inside, Eli lay sedated, breathing steady. Sarah sat beside him, her hand on his, eyes hollow. I stood at the kitchen table as Harlan sipped black coffee. No sugar, no small talk. "You were watching?" I asked. "Since '84, he said, gaze on the window. Sleeper agent, domestic ops. Activate if threats hit U.S. soil. After the Cold War, they forgot me. So you've been waiting, watching." His eyes met mine, heavy with true the man who'd seen America shift, who stayed ready for a war that never came. Until today. He stood, set the mug down, and headed out. "Take care of your brother. He's strong." And he was gone, slipping back into the beige house like a shadow. By noon, Willow Creek was chaos. Neighbors stood in driveways, phones out, coffee mugs trembling. Mrs. Delaney's Ring camera video, posted by her grandson, hit 8 million VYUs by dusk. "Willow Creek today," she narrated, voice breaking. 2 fake HOA men tossed a special needs boy. They'd have gotten away if not for the man across the street. News vans swarmed local, then national. Hashtags surged. The Sentinel neighbor, the HOA fraud, the justice for Eli. The video showed it all: Eli's collapse, Sarah's scream, Harlan's silent fury. The fake officer's arrest cracked open a conspiracy. Their SUV, registered to a shell company, held blank HOA citations and a burner phone. Detectives unlocked it, revealing a network of ex-contractors and disgraced cops posing as HOA enforcers across 2 states. They targeted vulnerable families, single parents, elderly, kids, like eliciting fake violations, demanding cash, escalating to force. If families resisted, they'd claim emergencies to justify abductions. Eli's face became a symbol. The Eli Act passed Congress, criminalizing impersonation of residential authority and mandating protections for autistic kids in crisis response. Training modules nationwide featured Eli's face and a shadowed still of Harlan crossing the lawn. Willow Creek changed. Neighbors who'd barely waved started sharing meals, tearing down fences. Sarah spoke at forums, her voice fierce, one Harlan in every neighborhood, and they wouldn't have made it past the first driveway. Eli returned to school, a drawing in his backpack. Him on the swing, Harlan across the street, eyes glowing red, label Mr. Harlan, hero sleep man. It hangs in the mayor's office now. A note appeared in our mailbox weeks later. No stamp, just folded paper. The war didn't end. It got quiet. Quiet streets need loud watchers. Stay ready. Ush. No trace, but we knew. Harlan's house sold quietly, no listing. Movers took a few boxes, one photo from 1984 Harlan at the Brandenburg Gate, a ghost in a crowd. The plaque in his yard stayed. Here, stand a watcher. Not for praise, not for medals, but because some battles never end. Justice isn't courts or headlines. Sometimes it's a man in gloves, crossing the street, refusing to look away. And when it comes, it leaves a standard to watch when the quiet breaks. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.